This is it, people. The culmination of 8 years of television history has led to this coming Sunday. With only a single episode left to stick this landing, can Game of Thrones bring home a satisfactory ending within the bittersweet parameters promised to us by George R.R. Martin? Whether it can or not, as a theorist, I've got one last bolt in my scorpion here on how this can all shake out. I'm Hutzimus Prime, and here are my thoughts on what to expect from the ending of Game of Thrones. Okay, peoples, this is your last chance to hit the back arrow if you haven't seen up to Season 8, Episode 5 in Game of Thrones. If you don't care and want to know what the hell everyone is talking about before it's too late, then follow me. And feel free to like and subscribe if you're into what you're seeing and hearing. Here we go. With the dust and ash settling on Episode 5 of this season, many viewers are expressing shock to see Dany take a heel turn. While I'm not surprised to see her burn them all, I did expect it to be a slightly more religiously motivated turn in my theory. My only qualm comes from how quickly she went from a perfectly coordinated military surrender to burn them all. Burn them all! I mean, not bothering to head straight for Cersei, the supposed source of her rage? Burning everybody in between is just a character choice made to expedite the end of this series, and at this point, I'm kinda glad. Whether you're ready for Daenerys' Mad Queen turn or not, after Episode 5, it is clear the Iron Throne is hers to lose. With that in mind, here's who I think will sit the Iron Throne when the ash settles on Episode 6. In Episode 6's preview, we get a glimpse of what looks like Dany taking to the public square with her army surrounding her. First things first, she will probably name herself Queen. Second, she'll round up all betrayers to ensure her rule is unchallenged. Tyrion will probably come under heat for freeing Jaime Lannister and failing Daenerys for that final time she warned him about.
The next time you fail me will be the last time you fail me.
Somehow I feel like Tyrion's survival will boil down to how badly Bronn wants Highgarden. With the other Lannisters dead, Bronn's last chance at a castle ending rests in keeping Tyrion alive. He's already shot Drogon once, and Bronn himself said people may not like Bronn so much after this season. With one episode left and Bronn doing nothing unforgivable thus far, slaying Dany's shield could earn him that disdain. My final grand theory and still awaited oh shit moment we were promised from the producers all stem from the relationship of Jon and Dany, the Song of Ice and Fire. Daenerys' goal throughout the series has been to claim the Iron Throne, and in doing so, has stepped over a huge moral line. With pursuit of power being the death of so many characters in the series, it seems the show is setting her up to be the greatest casualty of this theme. She will complete her cycle of self-destructing by attempting to execute her last living relative, Aegon Targaryen himself, Jon Snow. Varys, who died without a peep in Episode 5, like a boss, has managed to alert enough of Westeros that the woman burning King's Landing down is not the rightful heir she claims to be. Whether Jon Snow wants the throne or not, I bet a lot of people Dany is hoping to rule will be demanding he take the throne from his fire-crazy aunt. Though Daenerys defends her claim by framing Jon's claim as a treacherous story concocted by his brother and best friend,
A secret no one in the world knew, except your brother and your best friend.
An argument the Lords of Westeros don't care for given Dany's recent actions. Unable to achieve her role as queen while an heir remains to block her claim, Dany attempts to solve this problem the way she solves all of her problems, through fire. Dany will attempt to execute Jon Snow solely to remove him as the rightful heir. In doing so, she will enrage the Lords of Westeros, demanding the rightful heir take the throne. She will eliminate the only meaningful support in Westeros she has, making enemies of the North and the Vale by burning Jon Snow. Finally, Dany takes her final step past redemption by burning an innocent and well-respected man in front of the people she desires to rule. She faces all of these consequences even without completing her insidious goal, as Jon Snow walks out of the fire unscathed and a little naked. Just like Dany, Jon Snow owns Targaryen blood, which has been shown to grant those with the blood of the dragon immunity to fire. Dany has shown this ability throughout the show, if not the book, and I believe all these instances have been foreshadowing this moment. If only Targaryens are presented as immune to fire, Jon Snow's survival provides concrete proof he is the Targaryen he claims to be, turning Dany's claim to ashes before the court assembled. Jon Snow may be a nice guy, but he does not take trying to kill him very lightly. Just ask Ollie. Oh, wait, you can't. If Bronn hasn't killed him yet, Drogon would be the main obstacle in taking out Dany for the realm. His earlier connection to Jon last season could lead him to hesitate outright eating Jon even on Dany's command. However, if Dany takes Jon prisoner and this scene takes place in Winterfell so Dany can make a point, it only takes one word from Bran. He jumps into Drogon's head and Dany is as good as skewered. No matter what drivel we're fed to remove Drogon from the moment, Daenerys faces her final betrayal for the love of the realm, and Jon Snow sits poised to sit on the throne he never wanted. King Snow could sit the throne just as Dany predicted in her vision. After all, Snow is sitting on her throne here. I get why people think this is Ash after episode 5, but look at the symbolism they're going for here. The only thing between Dany and the throne is Snow. Unless he says,
"Screw you guys, I'm going home,"
and retakes the black and becomes the 1000th Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, so he can hang out with his buddies and guest star on Torment and Ghost this fall on HBO. If Jon picks crows before bros and hoes, the Iron Throne will be up for grabs. After a decade of solid warfare, don't be shocked if no one sits on the sword seat. If Tyrion survives, I could see Tyrion and Sansa dust off their marriage certificate and create a pseudo-republic to govern the kingdoms of Westeros. Finally, Arya and Gendry getting together will be the sweetness to all this bitter in the ending, just like their dads always wanted.
I have a son, you have a daughter. We'll join our houses.
While any named character could take the throne, I feel like the series could have more relevance by having Dany's actions end the monarchy of Westeros. Even though she went Dark Phoenix in the end, her actions ultimately would lead to the political upheaval she was striving for, breaking the wheel just like she promised.
I'm going to break the wheel.
Hopefully this will allow fans some peace as thousands of young women grow up named after a mass murderer. With the writing and character direction being what it is this season, any idea is just as likely as the others on how Game of Thrones is going to end. So what I want to know is, what do you guys think? Will Jon be making Dany kebabs before episode's end? Will Drogon escape to the Shadowlands or be taken down by Bran or Bronn? How disappointed do you think you'll be by Sunday's end? Please let me know in the comments below. Thank you all so much for the huge boost to my channel through these Game of Thrones theory videos. I do have more to say about the series as a whole once it's firmly in its coffin, but it has been a blast discussing this series with everyone who's contributed to my channel's comments board. I cannot thank you guys enough, and until next time, goons and gals, good luck in your adventures, and Godspeed.